Welcome back. Professional sport in its very nature requires commercial partners. SAB is a brand that for many decades has been synonymous with South Africa's big three, i.e. Bafana Bafana, the Springboks and the Proteas. Through their infamous "It All Comes Together with Castle" slogan. Castle Lager's marketing manager, Thomas Lawrence, joins me via Zoom now to look into the business of sport and the ever-changing commercial landscape. Very good evening to you, Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Sports Live. Firstly, your parent company, as I've mentioned, the SAB, very synonymous with South African sport for many decades. What benefits have you guys seen as you continue investing millions into these national teams especially?
Well, good evening and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I really do appreciate it. I think you touched on it earlier. I think sports has the ability to change South Africa, change the world. We've seen it over a number of years where you South Africans come together to celebrate, unite when our national teams win. And Castle Lager has a rich history in sponsoring sports within South Africa, so much so that we're known as the national beer. We're known as the beer that sponsors the South African spirit. And it all made a lot of sense, of course, to continue this because we've been sponsoring the national bodies in the past for so long, and of course, in the foreseeable future as well.
Yeah, you know, as a commercial partner, sometimes you are roped in to sort of like rescue an organization. In the case of, in 2017, you were tasked with taking SA Rugby out of a deep hole. Recently, SABC also needed you guys to secure the rights of the World Cup, for example. So how do you tackle such issues when they land on your desk?
Yeah, you know, we at Castle Lager believe that the consumer is always first. You know, the consumer has to be, front and center. And we know how much sports means to our consumers. We know that the sports platforms, as mentioned, really unite South Africa. Even though we might not be going through a good moment as a country, sports has the ability to cut through that and bring people together to celebrate. And that's really what we're after, right? We're after giving consumers the ability and the access to be able to enjoy sport because we've been doing it for so long. And as mentioned, of course, we look for doing it in every opportunity that presents itself.
Yeah. Were you guys cognizant of that when you guys journeyed into this market? I'm sure it was probably even before your time. I remember growing up, Castle, as I mentioned there in that intro, that it all comes together with the castle. I remember when I was still as a young kid, we didn't even understand what the castle was with Charles Glass. But were you guys always cognizant of the fact that sport is probably, if not the only thing that can bring South Africans together? Were you cognizant of that when you started out?
Yeah, I think that, sports has a important role to play in our brand world. And why is that? Because we know the affinity of South Africans towards sports. We've seen the nation be united in 1995 like never before. We've seen the same in 2007 and 2019. Whenever our sports teams win, South Africans are happy and celebrate. And as our brand purpose is to inspire hope in South Africans and bring people together. And of course, sports is an important platform that allows us to do this, allows us to communicate our brand purpose to South Africans. And with the Rugby World Cup taking place at the moment, of course, it was important to us that everybody gets involved and everybody gets to enjoy watching the Springboks play and, of course, supporting the Springboks play and lending their voice and urging them to victory.
Yeah, you speak about obviously bringing everybody together, but in 2020 and 2021, you guys had to face a pandemic like the rest of us. How much setback did you guys endure, especially with the Lions tour, which comes every 12 years? It's quite an important one for your brand, but that had to be played behind closed doors. How much did you guys suffer from that?
I think everybody suffered. I think it was something new. I don't think anybody was prepared. We did our best. We developed certain campaigns, digital campaigns, in order to still keep our voice relevant in South Africa. Our corporate affairs department and SAB has done many initiatives to try to help South Africa, help us get over the pandemic. But to answer your question, it was a tough time, but we are exceptionally happy, that sports has come back, if you will. Stadiums are starting to fill up, and we can enjoy watching our sports teams compete again.
Yeah, there's always, obviously, being somebody who's always had their backing towards the national teams especially, but there's always an ongoing battle of national interest where unfortunately those who have will be the ones leading. The ones who don't have, I should say, are always at the mercy of those who have, which in your case I believe that SAB is that. But as commercial partners that are always interested in national teams, how do you then smooth the relationship so that better planning is done for both parties?
Yeah, I think, look, the way we see our sports sponsorships is a partnership, right? Yeah. It's a partnership with the national bodies. We in constant communication with all the bodies to try to optimize our relationships. We value the relationship a great deal. As mentioned, we've been sponsoring these bodies for several decades. So we've been there for a very, very long time. And we have excellent relationships with our partners. And the hope is that, meeting and communicating effectively, that we can figure out opportunities and ways to optimize the partnership with the consumer, of course, at the center, so that the consumer can experience sports at the highest level, as well as get the opportunity to watch the national teams play.
Yeah. How busy are you guys this month, considering the Boks are in Paris and now the Proteas are down in India?
Yeah.
I'm saying, how busy are you guys going to be this month? How busy is your marketing?
This line is a little bit. When the Boks play or the Proteas play, it's always a special time for Castle Lager. We get to bring our fans a little bit closer. We get to communicate our brand purpose for them to really get behind the boys. The Boks in specific are potentially winning their fourth World Cup this year. So we're urging all South Africans to unite and get behind them. As you mentioned, the Proteas are in India, which gives us another opportunity to be able to show this South African unity, this national pride. Because, at the heart of our brand, we are the South African beer brand. We are the national beer brand. So it's only fitting that these two World Cups are really important for us at the moment at Castle Lager.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to let you go in just a second, but before, I think I'll be amiss if I don't ask this, especially as a female in sport. When there's a challenge that I want to put guys to you forward. When are we embracing Banyana and bringing them into this brand?
We would love to. We actually in discussion around it at the moment. As you know, we sponsor the Protea ladies. We believe that the partnership shouldn't just be male based. Of course, we would love to partner with Banyana, and we are in discussions regarding that and trying to optimize our relationships with SAFA. And of course, all we want to do is be able to support both the male and female teams equally.
I'm looking forward to that announcement when that sponsorship is officially made. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for you. Thank you so much, Thomas Lawrence. That is a Castle Lager's marketing manager, Thomas Lawrence, joining us via Zoom and talking all things business of sport as far as commercial brands and partners are concerned.